Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome to Regina's space.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall,
Welcome to today's video. So today I'm just basically going to be sharing some beliefs that I held that are no longer serving me, some mindsets that I have that are no longer serving my life. And I believe these are things that you can relate with. But if there's something or a belief that you held maybe when you were a teenager in your early 20s that you think it's no longer relevant in your life considering where you are at, please share them with me down below. As always, please like the video and leave a comment down below. And also subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe. The beliefs that I held that are no longer serving me currently where I am at with my life. And when I was young, maybe in my late teenagehood, early 20s, I thought I want to get married by the age 27. Well, I'm not yet married. So the belief that I held then was 27 is the only age to get married. And that's not true. I mean, looking back at my life and even, seeing other people's life, the way they're turning out, 27 is not the only age to get married, especially if you're a lady. You're thinking about, the biological clock, you need to have the kids, you need to get married. But 27 is not the only age to get married. People are getting married at their 50s, at their 60s, at their 40s, even at their early 20s. So it all depends with where you are at with your life, how you think your life is going to turn out, and basically what you want for your life. Because again, we cannot be competing with timelines. There's a video I created, I think, about how to handle pressure, and one of the ways was to live according to your own timelines, to own your timelines and live according to those timelines. So do I have the pressure to get married? No, I really don't have it. I'm turning 28 this year and it's very okay. In fact, when I meet young girls, I tell them, you guys, you don't have to get married so young. Work on your career, get that education, work on your goals. If you want to get married, that's it. Because I know there are people who don't really want. So 27 is not the only age to get married. That is a new mindset now that I'm over 27. I've come to appreciate. The other belief that I held, and this is a real one, that is no longer serving me, that it's either work or study. So when you're young, you're told to go to school, study, get the education. Then after that, you will now get work. You will start working, So education is the result of you working, and which is fine, which is okay, if you believe that's it. Where I am at currently with my life, I've come to appreciate that you can still work and also study. You can be working and also study, whether it's weekend classes, evening classes. You can study online, at the comfort of your home. So you don't have really to abandon your work because you want to get the education. And this is not a bashing, on my friends who have chosen to go and study and then they later on get into work. No, this is not the aim of the video. I'm just sharing how I'm currently seeing my life. I'm not really seeing myself stopping work to go back to school and get a master's degree, but I'm seeing myself sort of multitasking the two, do my master's while I continue working. But of course, if it reaches to a point where I feel like I really need a break from work, believe you me not, I'll just leave work and go and study. But currently, this is not my reality. My reality is working and studying at the same time. So I hope you get it. So there before, I used to think, even when I was in campus, I'd get opportunities, but I'm like, I've not completed my degree. I have to complete my degree. I have to get the certificate before I can do that. So I hope you can appreciate, you should appreciate that sometimes life would require you to multitask. The other belief, guys, and this is a heavy one, was life is kind of hard. And it's okay, life and adulthood is the ghetto and it's hard in its own way. But I'm coming from the context of toxicity, that life is hard, so you have to endure so much negative things, and you have to endure so much toxicity for you to make for you to become a better person, or for you to gain the skills, or for you to gain the experience, or for you to learn something. I believe that life does not have to be that hard. Life does not have to be so problematic. Even if you're learning lessons, life does not have to be so cruel. I mean, you don't have to endure all the toxicity, even if it's in the work environment, in a relationship that you are in a friendship that you are in a business that you're running. I think that mentality of always being in pressure that life is hard, so you have to endure all the bad things that are happening because you're gaining something out of it. You will, many years later, you look back and appreciate all that. It's okay, yes. Some lessons are learned the hard way. I appreciate that. Some lessons you will only learn them the hard way. But I'm coming to appreciate more and more the fact that life doesn't have to be so miserable. At least we should be having some form of fulfillment, some sort of quietness, some sort of calmness in our life. Not everything has to be so cruel. Not everything has to be so hard. Not everything has to be so problematic for you to learn that skill, or for you to learn that lesson. It doesn't have to be so hard. And this is a message to young people. I know sometimes young people, we are painted in a very negative way by the senior generation, and it's fine, because sometimes we have to learn. But I believe that you don't have to be taken through a very toxic experience, a very difficult experience, for you to gain the skills or the work experience, or to learn the lesson that it is you're being taught. So that is a belief that is currently no longer serving me. The belief that life is so hard, life is cruel, life is problematic. Life is one ghettohood that you have to endure the shit. That's a belief that I'm unlearning, because again, I've grown, with that mentality and with that pressure. Life has to be difficult, such that when things are working out and when things are easy and when things are calm, I'm actually shocked and surprised. I'm like, wow, life is so calm nowadays. Life is so quiet. There's no drama around me, It's funny how, a change of mindset just shows you how the other side of life can be, that you never realize. Another belief, guys, is that life is black and white. And this actually applies so much into the relationships we have with our friends, with our families, with our colleagues. I think I've come to appreciate more giving people the benefit of doubt sometimes when they deserve it. To give people the benefit of doubt, because you cannot say that this person did this because of this. I used to be this person that interprets that if person A did this to me, it's because of this negative thing. It's because they're either this negative, or they do not respect me, or they do not even care about me. I think I'm learning, slowly by slowly, learning that life is very nuanced, even in the way we interact, even in the way we do things. Things are not always in black and white. Sometimes you might want to give people the room of benefit of doubt, so that you get to know that the other side also has an explanation that is still valid, and you have to listen to it. But again, I'm not talking about enduring so much shit in life that people bring. I'm just saying that things are not always as they seem. So it's the same thing as, do not judge a book by its cover. Get to know someone, get to understand their life, get to interact with them, get to be social with them, and you will understand them. So even when they do something wrong to you, you will be coming from a place of understanding that this person is this way. This person, I know them. I know that they cannot really disappoint me. I know that they have the best intentions at heart. The belief is that the world owes you something. and the world does not owe you anything. The world does not owe you anything. So, and when I say the world here, I'm looking maybe at the relationships that we have with our family, the friends, with anyone basically, is that these people owe you something. The world owes you something. Your friends owe you something. Your family owes you something. Anyone owes you something. Your colleagues owes you something. I'm here to tell you, and I've learned it, that they owe you nothing. The only thing that they owe you is respect and loyalty, perhaps. But even respect, you have to earn it. You have to earn respect from your friends, your family, your colleagues, anyone that you interact with. You have, of course, to carry yourself in a manner that deserves respect. So the only thing that they owe you, I think, is loyalty. They owe you nothing. And the moment that I came to this mindset, actually I stopped getting disappointed with people, with my friends, with family, with the people that are within my social circle. This really helped with stopping getting disappointed all the time, angry all the time, being bitter, being resentful with people. I was expecting them to do this to me, but they haven't done it. I was expecting maybe they would do this to me and they haven't done it. And for those who have relatives abroad or friends abroad, you're like, oh, alienda Ulaya, alituacha, hata hakuna kitu anatuma. They owe you nothing. They owe you nothing. They owe me nothing. The only they owe me is respect. I believe I have earned it. And loyalty. Those are the only two things they owe me. Nothing material. Nothing material. They don't owe you anything material. Sometimes you don't have control of what happens to you in life. You really do not have any control of the shit that's going to happen to you the next day, but you have control. You have 100% control of how you react to what happens to you in life. So this is a very good mindset in helping to manage your expectations on people, because sometimes we have this especially unspoken expectations from people that we relate with, or the people that are in our social circle. So knowing that no one owes me something, and when they do it, it's not that I'm entitled to it. No, I'm not entitled. They are doing it out of the kindness of their hearts. So that will help so much in dealing with the disappointments and the bitterness that we hold. The other belief is that and this is debatable actually, that grass is greener on the other side. And when I say the other side, I mean overseas. So growing up, especially as a bright kid, you're going to school, you're getting good grades. Your parents have expectations of you. One day going to live abroad, working abroad, studying abroad, which is fine. I have nothing against the people who pursue opportunities, abroad or overseas. It's very fine. And maybe even me, one day I'll go overseas to seek after an opportunity. Why not? But the belief that when you are in Africa or in Kenya or in your country, wherever it is in Africa, you cannot make it until you go abroad, either to study or to work, or you get married to a foreigner. That is a very misguided belief. So, and maybe I would get personal here and just let you know. So when I cleared high school, I had this ambition all through high school. I had this ambition of going to study abroad, get a degree abroad. How can I be so sharp and study locally? A shock on me, it didn't happen. And I'm so glad that it didn't happen at that time, because I love that I went to school, to campus locally. I've met so many great people. I've had, exposure and interacted with several people that I would have never met. And even mentally, I've grown in a very big way. So I appreciate that. So I had that mentality. And when I didn't qualify to go and study abroad. I was disappointed, man. For so long I was disappointed, but so it didn't happen. But of course, I've had an opportunity to go abroad and do things, then come back. But I think I'm appreciating, and having interacted with people who have had an experience to live and stay abroad, work, study, them telling me their experience. Sometimes it's not always positive, and me looking life at back in Kenya, the convenience, the convenience to life, the affordability of stuff. I know I'm saying affordability, it depends on on your resources again, to afford some of these things. But I think slowly by slowly I'm winning off myself this idea that grass is only greener on the other side, because again, I have to be happy with where I am. I have to be happy with where I am at. I have to be content. I have to what is it called? To be content, to be happy, and to be fulfilled where I am at, and not really to be frustrated with always wanting to go abroad and stay abroad and work abroad, and stop appreciating the life that I currently have. So this is a belief that that is no longer serving me really, because again, when you go abroad, I know people abroad face many challenges that they might not all be telling us. By the Kenyans in diaspora, by the what challenges do you face? What is so good about your countries as compared to Kenya or to Africa? Again, let me repeat, no hate to those who live in diaspora. What is so good apart from the infrastructure, systems and structures that work? I mean, what else? And maybe I don't want to come across as a hater because I'm not abroad. Maybe if I was abroad, I'd be having a different story. But I think people are doing even dangerous things, and people are doing dangerous things, and going abroad illegally to do some illegal stuff, just because you have this pressure and you have this mindset, and you are taught that grass is only greener abroad. The other belief is that perfection is a prerequisite for goals, ambitions, and dreams. So, and I'll give an example with this YouTube channel. So before I began the YouTube channel, I had so many ideas and thinking, oh, I don't have a camera, I don't have this and this, I don't know how to edit, I don't know how to do what, I don't know how to do, I want everything to turn out perfect. I want, when guys are watching my videos, they are attracted to them, they like them and everything. And this is just an example in one thing, And so I delayed starting a YouTube channel. And again, fear is part of it. I would say fear was also part of it, because I don't know how people are going to receive it. But if you have to always wait for things to be perfect for you to do something, trust you me not. Trust you me not. That it is not, that things will never be perfect. Things will never fall into place as you would want them to fall. Things will not always look up as you would want them to. I mean, if you have to wait to have everything in place for you to start doing something, you're going to wait, and perhaps you're going to die while still waiting. So this is a belief that I'm unlearning. I'm learning slowly by slowly. For instance, I tend to overthink things. So whenever I'm doing something, I'll have to think of all the things that I need to have in place. And if I don't have them, I'd feel so disappointed. I'm like, but I don't have this, 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 but I don't have this. The other day, I was going to visit a relative of mine in hospital. I mean, it was impromptu. I hadn't really planned to go there. But in the course of the day, I got the idea, why don't I go and visit so and so in hospital? and I was late. It was going to take me about an hour, 30 minutes to get there. And so I thought, oh, I hadn't even bought whatever it is that I want to take to the patient, And so I started out, do I really have to go? I haven't done shopping, I haven't bought them this and this. I need to get this. If you're going to visit someone in the hospital, you need to buy them this, you need to buy this and this and this. So if you're going with nothing, really, it doesn't count, But I remember, one of my brother telling me, no, you just go. Who says you have to do all that before you go to visit them? Huh? Just go and visit them. I mean, you're interested in seeing them. I mean, you can tell them that you didn't have the time to go and buy things. And again, it's not even an expectation that you have to come back, with so much shopping. You have to come visiting with so much shopping, carrying everything. No, you care about this person, and this person cares about you, and so you should just go and visit them. So I'm learning that slowly by slowly, that life doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, we are not perfect. I'm not perfect. Life is not always perfect, sometimes things just happen. So in the context of going for your dreams, going for your goals, going for your ambitions, please do not let that quiet voice in your head telling you that everything has to be perfect for you to pursue your goals, for you to pursue your dreams, and for you to pursue your ambitions. So the last belief is that you don't always have to be strong. Yeah, you don't always have to be strong. You always come across as someone who has got everything together, someone who is never weak, someone who is always there to encourage each other, very positive, very encouraging, very inspirational. You don't always have to. And I know this is a pressure that so many people, especially those who refer to themselves as bright kids, that hold that you have to be strong. There are people who are looking up to you. You are a role model. There are people who are inspired by what you're doing, and so you always have to put on a strong face. You always have to hide your vulnerable side. You always have to measure everything that you do, everything that you say. And I just wrote down here that it's good to be vulnerable sometimes. I remember this year, I'm still going through grief. I was going through grief, and I'm still going through grief. And people know me as a strong person. People know me as this positive person. She never breaks down. She's strong. She's resilient, which is fine. I'm all that. But I was at a point of vulnerability, a point where I need to break down. And then grief combined with all the other, stuff that are happening in life, it's so much pressure to always be the strongest person in the room. Sometimes it's good to have a strong person in the room, but sometimes be vulnerable, allow those emotions. If it's to cry that you want to cry, if it's, not to do the normal stuff, you just want to sit, you just want to watch a movie the whole day and not do so much stuff. So I'm coming to learn that I do not always have to be strong. I am vulnerable, and when I feel vulnerable, I need to express that, and I need to act, that way. Because again, if you do not let out and express your emotions when you're vulnerable, they're going to bottle up. And when they bottle up and you bottle up so much, you're going to burst, at some point. So I'm learning vulnerability. To be honest, vulnerability is a new concept to me. It's a new concept, really new. It's something that I'm learning. And I remember I think during the year, there's a time I went to bed and I was feeling so bad mentally, emotionally, and everything. And I told myself, I don't want to be referred as a strong person anymore. I don't want anyone to think that I have got everything together, that I've figured everything out in life, that, I am this and that. I just said, no, I don't want to be that strong person anymore. I don't want that pressure. I don't want it. I want to be a human, and a human being has, all emotions. Sometimes you're weak, sometimes you want to break down. So that's a belief I'm unlearning, and I'm loving the lessons that I'm taking, along the way. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video and you've learned something. And I want to hear from you. What are the beliefs that you're currently unlearning? What are the beliefs that you're picking along the way as you go throughout life? Because I don't think the beliefs that you held when you were a teenager or in your early 20s are still relevant. At some point, you realize that life is not as you thought it was back then, and so you have to reconfigure some things in your life, in terms of your beliefs, in terms of your values. I want to hear, what are the beliefs that you are unlearning and learning as well. So maybe I should do another video of the beliefs that are currently serving me. That's a good idea. I should do. I'll think about it and do a video. It's going to be closely connected to this. So this is going to be a video about beliefs that are currently serving me, because if there's something that is no longer serving me, there sure is on the other side a belief that is serving me. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and also subscribe if you haven't subscribed. So ciao.